let's go ahead and get started. And let's see who will be finally out. Who's finally out? You got a plethora of candidates in here. I know the Washington Mystics are still here. You got the Capitals, Stephen A. Smith, the Pelicans, the Panthers, the Bruins. You got First Take, Franz Wagner, Tyler Hero. He might be there for a while. You got some boxers down there. You got Kyrie in there. That's my favorite NBA player, but he's in there. It's so many people in the doghouse. You barely see the doghouse. You just see the people. So, man, all I know is it's about to go down. So, the team that is coming out of the doghouse, and this should come of no surprise, because I said this last time on my show when I put them in the doghouse that all they had to do was win Game 7 and they'd be out of the doghouse. So you know what? The NHL Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers, are finally out of the doghouse. After only being in for a few days or about a week, a little less than that, out of the doghouse now. They won the Stanley Cup. It's their first Stanley Cup championship in franchise history. And they won it without even having a great playoff, having a great run in the Stanley Cup. They got outscored in the Stanley Cup. But they still won. They won the game 2-1, held Connor McDavid with no goals in that game, in the game that mattered the most. So it just makes more sense to say that they belong out of the doghouse. They did everything they needed to do. You know, they had a 3-0 lead, then they squandered it, and it got tied. They got outscored by 13 goals in the last 3 games before Game 7. But they were at home. The crowd was going wild. And now we have another champion in the R2L family, Giovanni, who was a Florida boy. He's a Florida man no matter what. He always says he's loyal to the soil. No matter what, there's a Florida team that he likes. And he finally gets to celebrate a NHL championship. They had the parade on the beach. You know, they celebrated and went to the club in Miami, of course. So they had it up. So shout out to the Florida Panthers for getting out of the doghouse, going to go win the championship, beating the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 in the Stanley Cup final. Even though Connor McDavid won the playoff MVP award, could have definitely gone to Eduardo Rodriguez, but they gave it to Connor McDavid. This was a great series, a great NHL series, and actually broke some records as far as attendance. And the NHL draft is actually today, so I'm excited to see who's going to get drafted today. I'm not going to say any names, but it's going to be interesting to see who's number 1 overall and what these teams are going to do, what they're planning to do for the next season. I'm almost sure that they're going to be one of the favorites to return and get back and be one of the best teams in NHL next season. So great job getting out of the doghouse. Don't come back. All right. Now we got to talk